Let's play darts. Ladies and gentlemen, a 60. What a wonderful sight to hit a 60. Today is a new month. If you ever see the Samson Does Darts tee, look at that, let's play darts, you know it's the start of a new month. We reflect on the past, but we look forward to the future. Let's get going, guys. It's been a good month. It's finally been a good month. Back in March, I was averaging over 100. The momentum going through the year was phenomenal. Flying high. Nothing could stop me. Until April came. And I stagnated. I actually got a little bit worse. And this carried on into July. July, I averaged 45. Gone downhill. The momentum was going against us. It had to be a comeback month. It had to be a month of fun and enjoyment. And that's what we did. And in turn, the darts improved. The darts improved. So where are we at, I hear you ask? Well, let's throw these three. Oh, not bad, guys. Look at those. We're getting there. So 45 was what we had to beat. We had to improve. We didn't put any pressure on ourselves, though. It was all about fun, and if the darts flew in the nice places, that was a bonus. And they did fly in the nice places. My average for the month of August, 48. That's a 3-point increase. That was exactly what I needed. That's what we needed for morale in here. And yeah, bringing back the fun has also brought back a little bit better darts. Now there's a long way to go. A long way to go. We've got a lot of work to do, but we're heading in the right direction, and that's what we wanted. Cracking stuff. Right, we're going to go around the clock on doubles today. We've got a lot more to discuss. There's not just the average we needed to be speaking about. Averages aren't hugely important, as they keep telling us. However, they are a nice little bit of a guide to see where we're going and how we've been playing. And there are other elements of darts for me that I wanted to improve. One of them being my back pain. Never had this. Played for a year without any problems with getting any pain. I get pain in this knotted area. You know this one here? Right by the shoulder blade. It's a classic area, okay, of little knots. That's been, if I play for an hour, I've been getting it. And I would say it was a 9 out of 10 pain in July. August, it has improved. Now, it's not gone, but I'm relaxed more. I must be too tense on this hockey. But we are down to, I would say, a 7 out of 10. And for me, that is significant improvement to enjoy this. I like to play for a fair few hours a day on this hockey. So when I'm getting this pain, it's really putting me off carrying on. So trying to reduce that has been useful. I managed 2 180s in the month of August. I hit 2 in one night. 180s have been a bit of a struggle to come in. I'm up to 37 though, 37 180s. So I'm very happy with that overall. And looking at the statistics, looking at the statistics, which I always do, when we were at the Pomp back in that March period, my checkout percentage was around 20%, above 20%. I was really pleased with that. It was the strength of my game. Since then, we've gone downhill, and it's still actually at that lower end. I think it was 15.7 for August, and it was about 15.5 for July. So the doubles need work. Now, my average has increased, so my scoring, which we know has got better. Much more comfortable in the 20s. I'm throwing much straighter darts. Straighter than my uncle Larry after he went into prison and found religion. So that's heading in the right direction, but we need work on the doubles. So let's get around this clock. And it's funny old game, this, because part of my warm-up before I came on here, I threw doubles. And I hit over 20% going around the clock. And normally I hit around 11, 12. It must be the monotony of just knowing that you've got to throw loads at 1 and loads at 2 and loads at 3. If you're struggling on 1, I don't know about you guys, but sometimes I find my standard slipping. And I think that's why I hit those lower numbers. And then in matches, when everything's about making sure you hit those doubles, you're much more focused. So I'm trying to bring that into my game a bit more, trying to focus in my training games like I would do in a match. Otherwise, you're sort of you're not practicing, are you, for real situations? Notice, look at this surround. So another thing we've got to look forward to is look at this board, guys. It's getting battered and bruised. Battered and bruised. So this served us well, hasn't it, the Eclipse Pro? It's beautiful, but it's aging now. I think we've got one more rotation in us. I think where this 12 is now could be our new 20. I just need to get it down and do that. But we are looking for a new board. So any board advice, get in those comments, ladies and gentlemen. There is one I've got my eye on, I'm not going to lie. It's beautiful, and it's the new Unicorn. The new Unicorn Pro is beautiful, I personally think. So, and that's one I think I've got my eye on. But I know there's Target Tour fans out there and so on and so forth. So let me know your thoughts and opinions. As always, they're appreciated. Right, let's go, double 1. Double 2. Good start. Good to get off to a good start. We've got to practice these doubles more. They have definitely slipped. You may have also noticed I'm throwing the Gen 11 Phil Taylors again. I only picked them up yesterday, started throwing with them, like them. I'm just not really too hung up on darts. Okay, I've got plenty of darts that you heroes have all sent in, and I love playing with them. But when I say I'm not hung up on them, I'm not hung up on a particular set. I just think that there's so many flaws in my technical game. My drawback, my elbow movement, my elbow's too far out. I'm not consistent at my follow through. My handprint is only here and there every now and again. I just seem to think that, well, it doesn't really matter what darts I'm using at the moment. There's some sets I don't touch at all, but there's some that I really find there's no difference in throwing them. So sometimes when I'm getting a little bit either, I wouldn't say bored, but perhaps I'm just having a bad period, just to mix things up a bit, I pick up a new set and sometimes I'll stick with them. I'm just not going to be hung up on it. We used the Clemens early in the month. I think we used the Mage Rabbits at the back end of the month before that, and I was fine with those. And I'm back on the Phil Taylors. So we'll see how things go. But I just don't think changing your darts is going to change really my abilities. We're on double 2, aren't we? Ooh, not bad. Mindset. We had the mindset session last time out. I'm going to be using that for the month of September, which means I'm going to be trying to get a 50 average for September. I think that's realistic. I think that's where we've been before. We should have that muscle memory to get back there. 48 to 50 have been lovely. And the way to get there, that's just a result. Why am I trying to aim for 50? Well, I'm trying to get more consistent with my arrows. I'm trying to be more consistent, less flaky shots. And like this example here on this double 2 here, I'm happy with that. There's nothing, over here or up here or off the board. And those are the sort of consistencies I'm talking about, really. I'm just trying to cut out bad darts by being more consistent with my handprint and my follow through. So you see that? That's what I'm trying to achieve. That was not as good. But, just all the way through, keep my handprint so it goes in the sort of the right direction, and keep getting that consistency so my throw starts to look more and more the same every time you turn on this channel, which is a real challenge. And there's no time frame on that. It's not like the end of next month. Okay, I've ticked that off the box. I'm just going to keep focusing on that until it seems like it's not an area to focus on any longer. I think putting time frames on things have been a little bit of a disadvantage to me. Pour that one. Let's get this too. But August was all about bringing the fun back, and I feel much happier. Morale is much higher. That was really the main target for the month. So we've achieved that. So it's been a really good month. We had the Samson Does Darts Tournament Cinco. That was a success. Better. We'll have another one in September. I got past round 1. We'll play 1-1 match, which is tremendous considering I'd lost 4. So that's progress. There's lots of things to celebrate. I'm just trying to focus on those positives a lot more. Double 3. Oh, unlucky. Look at that. Lovely dart. Lovely. They're the ones I'm going to be celebrating nonetheless, having missed. Double 4. Oh, good darts. These are good darts. I'm happy. If we play like this all month, I feel like this is improvement. Very few terrible darts so far today. That's what we're trying to do. Reduce those, become more consistent. Sometimes you improve and sometimes you just, I guess, get better at being bad. But we are on the, momentum is with us. Almost. I'm also slightly positioned to the right of the oche again. Spent a lot of the last sort of couple of months more in the middle, like more this thing where my arm is in the middle. I just find being on this right hand side, I just get a little bit more consistency. This is where Daniel from Straight to the Point told me to be sort of initially, because I've got a slight conundrum where my elbow likes to naturally lean out this way, right? And when I'm in this position here, I sort of get a little bit tighter. And in doing so, my elbow comes in, and I feel that perhaps is better, but the jury is still out on that. What are we on here? 4, I think. Or very late release there on that last dart. And what do you want to see on the channel, guys? Get in those comments, let me know. Got any ideas for games? Things that you want to see that you perhaps play, training stuff? Get them in the comments. I've been taking them on more and more. We'll do a couple more of those this month. Still got a couple of comments I've saved of you suggesting different games. So please do that, because that makes things a lot easier for me and interesting. Not so bad. Not awful. I don't mind those. Mainly because I just stayed in that position and through. Sometimes I find myself just leaning back again after throwing a dart, and that's not going to be good, is it, for long-term consistency? Poor. So I'm just trying to find positives in everything, if I can. I think that negative mindset is a real detriment to me. Oh, that went all over the place. Oh, unfortunate, that one. Unlucky. But yeah, I've also got to be realistic, because even though the average has gone up, and averages aren't that important, especially at this stage in many ways. If you've gone from a 45 to a 48, I mean, it's a bit like finding a £5 in your pocket and realising you're still poor. But let's hit this 4. There it is. There it is. Better. Better. I do like these darts. I like a lot of my darts, but there's something about these, the shape of these, real stocky little fellas, like how Taylor used to throw, I guess. But I'm enjoying them, so I'm glad I've picked them back up again. Number 5. Number 6. Oh, look at at those, not bad. Once again, darts to be celebrated. If you're centimetres away, or sorry, centimetres, millimetres away, you're in good hands, really. And they say this is a game of inches, but I do sometimes feel I'm 3 nautical miles away. Lovely that. Because I'm positioned where I am, for that 6, I've got to hit it almost down the line. So it's beautifully straight, which is fantastic to see. Straighter than a session with the chiropractor. 7. Not so bad again. Doing all right to get to 7 in our short time together. Hopefully this is a sign of things to come for the month. Oh, I spoke far too soon. That's the first really bad dart of the day. Closer. Got closer though. That's all you can do sometimes. Ooh. They weren't great. That was a poor line going on there. Oh, darn. So get in those comments, let me know how you got on in August, whether you're happy with your progress, whether you're improving, whether perhaps you've been improving to a point and then this was the month where things went wrong. Well, I've been there. The worst thing you can do is say, this is terrible, let's pack this up because I've hit my limit and I'm sliding down the mountain of despair. It's about being persistent. You may be stuck in this place for a long time. People tell me these slumps happen a lot, so I'm not expecting this to be the last one of those. The last 3 months were painful and we'll probably be back there, and that experience will serve me well, not to panic. But having said that, I need to also build on this. There's no point in me coming back in a month's time and I'm back down 45. I've got to, whatever I've learned in this month, which has been plenty, got to take into September. Wow. Much better. Much better. That sort of using my wrist, everything going through, it's not consistent. So that happened on the 7th and the 8th there. Oh. Ooh, better. Better. We like 8. We should like 8. Right, it would have been nice to get to double figures. We may not quite get there, but that's okay. There's been not so many bad darts today. 9. Close. I mean, if we're going to really set another challenge, I would like to hit 3 180s in the month of September. I feel that's a nice sign of consistency as well. So if we can get up to 40 by next month, that's another little challenge I'm willing to accept. Good darts though. See the consistency of those 3 there. None have hit, but they're all good darts. If I look back on those videos from when I began, and I showed myself back then what I'm throwing now, I'd be so pleased with that. I've got to remind myself of that. You've got to remind yourselves of that. How bad you were when you started. And now how much better you are now. There has been progress. Don't forget it. It's easy to do that. It's easy to change your goals so quickly. I do that. I'm just talking about myself, really. Right, let's leave it there. Let's leave it there because, once again, not so bad. We're going to get better at this game. We have got better at this game. We're not going to get better. We will get better as well. But we have got better at this game. Got to remind ourselves of that. To be kind to ourselves. Be kind to ourselves and each other. Who used to say that? Jerry Springer, perhaps. What a legend. Guys, every month's a pleasure with you, regardless of the results. So this wouldn't be half as fun without you guys here. So I'll take this opportunity to start the month by saying thank you very much for all your support as always. It's incredible the amount of people that have been involved in this journey. And I feel honoured that I'm also a little bit involved in your own journeys. So let's just keep going, guys. We've got this. You've got this. Let's go.